Draymond Green.
Hey, Dre, first of all, how's the hand? Second
It's
of all,
all right. It's fine.
Second of all, how would you assess the way you guys finished this game tonight?
I thought we fought back a couple times. When you fight back, you gotta keep it going. You can't allow a team to make another run. And, it's like every time we get back, we allow them to make a run, and you can't do that.
We've talked about road defense a lot this season, and I know you can't really pinpoint what is kind of the cause for the drop-off when you guys hit the road, but just what did you see tonight on that end?
Well, we started the game off soft defensively, and you let a team get a rhythm, it's tough to break it, especially at home.
Draymond, obviously, this, I guess, called a rivalry now has obviously been heating on both.
It's not called a rivalry.
What's that now?
This a rivalry?
You want to call it that or no?
If you want to call it that, but I would disagree.
All right. Well, where you want to call it? I guess
it's a basketball game.
No worries. Obviously, Dillon, you have some things to say on your podcast. Dillon has some things to say to you guys on the court tonight. Just, I guess, when two teams get that competitive like that, how much for you guys does that still fire you guys up a little bit, or is it just kind of you're used to it at this point?
No, it's expected. Team's been getting up for us for years. It's what happens when you win a lot. So they'll keep getting up in a major way for us.
Is that Dillon response to anything? Did that anything to do with what you said earlier this week?
What response?
Dillon's play tonight, yelling, obviously going.
He always yell.
But I guess you feel like I was like extra off this part tonight. The director motivated me.
I don't know. You have to ask him. I'm not sure what motivates him. I know playing against us motivates him, so that's where he was extra motivated, but and it's kind of played the way he plays, I think. Unless you saw something special that I didn't. Yeah, me either.
Back to Dillon again, at least briefly. You and him had that moment in the second quarter, nose to nose. He's past the technical foul line. You're sort of up against it. Referees let it go. No whistles there. Your reaction to sort of that moment in the game?
He thought he would bait me like he gets baited. I get technical fouls when I want to get a technical foul. I don't get baited into technical fouls. And so I think that's probably the difference in between me and him. If I do that to him, it'd be a double tech because he'd respond. But it's not a double tech because I didn't respond, So one of us are baitable, one of us aren't. And that's just kind of how it goes.
Why don't you consider this a rivalry?
Because you have to, one team has to win, and then another team has to win. Then, that's what creates a rivalry. Not because one team gets up for you and talk like they can beat you and then not. That doesn't create a rivalry. Rivalries are created by you win, I win. And clearly we won 4 times, and I think their organization has 0 championships, so I can't consider that a rivalry.
You say win, you ain't talking about in March. You're talking about...
anybody can win in March. Anybody can win in March. What that mean? I have a hard time getting out of my bed in March. What's the game in March mean?
What does a game in March mean? Well, for the Warriors, this game kind of meant snapping the road losing streak. But Draymond Green said there was a lot of gold in that one. First, let's start with the rivalry. Is this a rivalry in your eyes, D, right?
Heck no.
Why not?
They have to win, like Draymond said. They have to win, we have to win.
I do agree, but they did win that play-in game a couple years ago. Don't matter.
Play-in game
doesn't matter. All right, no rivalry. What about you?
No rivalry. Just because you do a lot of chatter, a lot of talking trash, that doesn't make it a rivalry.
They're like the little brothers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the line. Until they win something, even if it ain't the Warriors, until they win something, and I say get to the finals, and then you can say. Okay, look, we have just gotten where you guys have been 6 times in 8 years.
Right.
It still ain't a rivalry yet, but at least that's a start.
Yeah, and you got to beat them in the playoffs, like Draymond Green said. That's what made the Cavs-Warriors a rivalry, right?
Exactly.
Warriors win in 2015, Cavaliers bounced back in 2016, and the rest is history. Now, as far as being baited, Said, you can't bait me. I get a tech when I want to get a tech. That was interesting there. Because now that I think about it, I'm like, well, Draymond does push that line, and nobody really baits him.
No.
Not recently.
No, it's a vet move. Just like you just mentioned, a little brother and big brother. Yeah. Draymond Green's the big brother in this case. Just like I used to do Dillon. I used to bait him. And then my mom and dad used to get on him.
Oh, Dillon's not watching, man. He's playing good basketball and watching.
Oh, yeah,
Don't do that to Dillon, man.
There are times when I think Draymond makes an effort to get a tech.
Right.
But I don't, he got 15 this year. I don't think all 15 were effort techs.
Right.
I think some cases were just referees were a little bit, had enough.
Yeah.
And boom, they hit him with a tech. But like Steve was saying before the game, he asked about Draymond, could he think he would get to 16 and therefore be suspended? He's been to that edge a few times before. He never gotten there. And I think at this point, I ride with Draymond. I think he won't get another technical and therefore have to miss a game as long as his team at least is in the running of trying to get to a nice playoff seed. I think Draymond will be straight.
That was a lot of good quotes there from Draymond Green. He had a solid night. Again, the 5 turnovers, but he played some inspiring basketball coming off of that podcast. We'll add some levity to this situation here with the wrong way. That's right. Look at these guys, man. Love the basketball, too. Whoever tweeted that, that's the tweet of the night. That's pretty good stuff.
Off to bad starts, 6, 7 straight games. So we were looking for a little daylight, early in the game. Memphis is a good defensive team. So we wanted to spread them out and hopefully get some good shots early. We didn't do that. We were impatient early and we took some really tough, quick shots. And I didn't think we got organized well enough. So I think in hindsight, probably got a little too cute with that. But we are where we are. We're searching a little bit on the road and took a gamble with that, and it didn't pay off.
As you guys end this road trip and return home, is there any updates on, Jonathan's situation?
No.
Next grade. Steve, what stands out to you as far as the defensive concerns?
Well, tonight, I thought there were plays right away where we didn't get into the ball. We were really soft on the ball and not being the aggressor. Had a couple of miscommunications that led to wide open layups. So it's disappointing that we just weren't connected. And that's been the story on the road all year. We're for whatever reason, our defense is really good at home and it's struggled on the road. So I didn't like the aggressiveness or the connection right out of the gates. And I was happy that the guys battled back 2 different times and got us back in the game. But it's tough to play uphill, from down 20, after the first quarter. It's tough to, especially on an opponent's home floor.
Steve, the last 2 games, I believe it was in the second half when you guys kind of were able to kind of close the Grizzlies out a little bit. Did you see something differently from them where you guys were able to battle, but they were able to kind of just resist a little bit?
They just played much better and we played much worse. It's as simple as that. I think the Christmas game, we played pretty well throughout, controlled that game. The last game was kind of a little wild and all over the place, and we were able to pull it out because we closed the game really strongly. And tonight I thought they just controlled the game from the start. As I said, we found our way back in a couple of times, gave ourselves a chance, but couldn't get over the hump.
You guys kind of started rallying and then in the second quarter and then just unraveled in those last 2 minutes. I think committed like 4 turnovers. Was that just like a lack of focus, or what did you did guys let their guard down, or what did you kind of see in that?
Yeah, turnovers and some fouls too. I think they shot 16 free throws in the first half, and a lot of those came, in the second quarter. But the turnovers, just in a rush, trying too hard to make plays, and instead of just getting organized and trusting each other, trusting the offense.
We're going to take a look at the Western Conference standings coming up. Stephen Curry, he had a nice night. We'll break down his game, plus another Warriors injury. That's all coming up here on Warriors Live.
Warriors Live is presented by Toyota. With 11 fuel-efficient hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone.